What's going on? It's facts you don't know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more well informed, make sure to subscribe and activate the notifications bell so you don't miss anything.
This small family lived in one of the rented apartments in Moscow, and when the owner of the apartment asked for an increase in the price of the rent, the father, called Anton, resented a lot and decided to build a house for his own family. Since building a house in Moscow is not easy because it's expensive, the father decided to buy a small plot of land on the outskirts of Moscow and build his house there. The man was able to purchase a small plot of land for a small amount, but the owner of the land told him that a project to build a factory would be built after 3 years in that place, and that the government would have to demolish all the houses built there. The man remained confused, as he was given the choice between building a house in which he lived for 3 years and then losing it, or returning to search for an apartment to rent and live in. After consulting with his wife, the man decided to construct a temporary house, and to rely on its construction on the containers for transporting the goods used in the ports. The idea seemed crazy at first, but the man was very encouraged by his wife, which made him publish an advertisement on the internet searching for containers for sale that are used. After a while, the man managed to buy 3 containers, weld them together, and began building the house. The man chose those containers to build his house because he knows that his stay will not last long, because he's forced to leave the house after 3 years. So he must build a house at the lowest cost. And when it comes to leaving, he's saved an amount of money to buy a new apartment, and then he'll be selling those containers. Fortunately for the man, he found containers in good condition from a warehouse selling old haberdashery, then transported them to the land on which he was to build his house. After the end of the school season, he started the mission with his family. Containers were not expensive. They were priced only 290,000 rubles. The man made a plan to build the house, where he brought some of the tools he needed in the construction process, and then he began his mission with his children. The neighbors were observing what his family was doing and laughing, especially when they saw these containers. But Anton did not care for anyone and decided to proceed with his project in order to find a comfortable home for him and his family. He watched some techniques on YouTube and consulted some specialists in the metal construction. Anton's project was proceeding very quickly, in which within a month he managed to complete the construction of the final model of his house and installed the distinctive triangular ceiling. They detailed into 2 rooms and a hall to receive the guests, in addition to a bathroom, a toilet, and a kitchen. Then he raised the object from the ground by relying on cranes and laying under it layers of concrete in order to prevent water leakage into the house, and then began to cover the walls from the inside and outside and installed the doors and windows. Then moved to connect the house to the water, electricity, and natural gas networks, and also installed a beautiful modern wooden floor, leaving him with only grease and some last touches. Although the father and his family were tired and made great efforts while building the house, they were very happy watching their house evolve from day to day. The house was spacious and sufficient for the whole family. Then the family members moved into the house and started to smooth and moisten the walls and fill the gaps in them. Then they brought the paint equipment and started painting the walls with beautiful colors. Each of them chose the right color for the room in which he slept and painted it himself. The colors were very consistent and everything was beautiful in the new house, which finally appeared in its final state and was ready to move in less than 2 months. The father brought the furniture that was in the rented apartment, then bought new furniture and put it in his new home. The house became warm, spacious, and beautiful, and dazzled everyone who visited it, including the neighbors who laughed at Anton at the beginning of his project, where they were shocked when they saw the house from the inside. The project Anton and his family succeeded, and they were able to build a modern house with all specifications for an amount that did not exceed 800,000 rubles, or the equivalent of 13,000 US dollars. Although it's a temporary house and the man will have to leave after 3 years, but this family will enjoy living in it during this period, and she has enough time to arrange her affairs and think about buying a new apartment in the future. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.